Hi everyone, welcome to a video. Traders, this is for installing MT5, MetaTrader 5 platform. The quickest, best and most efficient way to do it. Also in this video, very important, is broker analysis. This is a document I'm busy working on. I have a previous one going back 4, 5, 6 years I've been doing this analysis. MetaTrader 5 is still the top end of all platforms, and that's why all brokers offer it. So we've got to find the best broker, you've got to find the right platform, then you've got to find the suitability to low capital. So some brokers, like Pepperstone here, it's almost not possible to trade because they do round lots, 0.1, 0.2. You can't get into micro lots where you can do partial closing. It makes it very difficult to get very accurate trading results. Doesn't help anyone unless you have over $5,000. So I've got to do this for all the brokers. This is a big undertaking. So today, that's one part of it. The other is just how to install MT5. And then you can see my other videos of how to use algorithms and to trade efficiently so that you can take out the human error. We've got a great EA at the moment, FTU Buck, so please have a look at that. Right, I just tried to do FP markets, and that was a bomb. In order to get a demo, you have to go and register. So we don't want to go through the whole KYC becoming a client. And the same is with HF markets. So the only one left out of these that I haven't done a spread analysis on, there are a few, but Fusion Markets is one of them. Okay, let's go and have a look. So let's pop over to a browser. Now, hopefully on their website, you can just go straight to the platform and try and find where to. Here we go, platforms, and we go to MT5. And somewhere here should be just a download. Wicked, there it is. Some brokers put it in the back end and expect you to try and register. So there it is. Now go and launch it from your downloads folder. Once you've done that, this will pop up. Hit settings, go to browse, C drive. I put in my second partition where I have all the other ones. And remember, this is MT5, so try and keep this format because you're going to use some for testing. Like I use this one for testing. This might be for copy trading, and that's for trade sender, or you can split up your accounts. That's important to do when you have found a good broker. So keep the name format the same. And we'll just go 1. And we can untick this. We don't need to open the website. This will take a minute or two. Once that's complete, you just hit finish and the platform will launch. And it's nice, they're not asking for much other information. A lot of the other brokers are doing some security checks, which does make you wonder about this broker, because the other ones will send a text or a message to your emails, so I think that level of security is very good. So they're wanting us to go to the website. So this is another fail. We basically have to set up an account in order to run a demo. Okay, so let's just continue, go ahead with the installation, and we can always test another broker for the spread. Okay, back to the installation. So we're just going to tidy this up. As soon as you install MT5, it's just going to open up every feature, basically. And you need to know the shortcuts. So Control M will remove this Market Watch. Control N is for Navigator. Control T is for your trade window, which has your journal, market history, expert information. Let's tidy up the very top left. We go customize. And the way I do it is we don't need new chart. We don't need any of these. You want to put algo at the top if you do algo trading. and templates. That's it. That's all of them. So that's the order I generally have it. Customize the time frames. We're pretty much intraday traders, certainly not 1 minute. So we'll go something like that. And then as for the very last end, you want text box. So you double click in order to get them within there. And then another cool tool lately they added is this arrow line thing. So that's all of them. Then of course you've got to change them to your preference. So the first time you do it, we'll set the standard for the ones going forward. So like if I'm doing Arial font, well, let's go Big John. Okay, there it is. Now if I do another label, see now it's also on double click function. So you're going to go into Tools, Options. Let's change a few things here from the top left. We don't want that much bar history because every time you load the platform, it's going to, especially if you've got a lot of indicators, some heavy indicators, you know, just max 10,000. Unless you have your, as I say, you have one that's doing testing, have fewer charts on that one. Always be aware because this is about CPU usage. That's the one there. Select that. And the rest of it's fine. You can do this now. One-click trading makes it easier for later. Event. Logging into your account in the top right. Click up here. Log in, do your password. That will get you to the market. If you don't have that login, you won't be able to download indicators or algorithms. So once you hit market, and this is where you choose experts, is algorithms, indicators, and you can search them by title. So there's 1, 2, 3 of mine, and there's the fourth, there's the Bach. So that's how you can search, or for specific names. You want a trend expert that does trend analysis. Didn't really help because you still have 740 pages with the keyword trend in it. That could take a long time to test and find which of these are good. Very few of them are as successful as they make out to be. You can go and ask AI how do developers manipulate market algorithms in MetaTrader. You'll find out more about that. Okay, so we've got the platform installed. Now I tend to kind of create a folder on my desktop that looks like this. These are the main brokers I'm busy looking at the moment. Then I have secondary ones. So Fusion is not on my top list. I'm going to drop it into third. So on your desktop, you would have the execute file. You drag and drop that in here. And then, like before, keep the naming orders. So we want to go 1. So there's the MT5 ones. These I should be doing the same with. I must have just installed these quickly recently. So the same goes for everyone else. Keep the name order the same so that it just keeps things tidy and it'll certainly help you out later. As for this, the editor file, you just go to your drive where you installed the folder originally. So this was Fusion. Here it is here. You just drag and drop it into there, and then just say yes. Okay, that's the hard part done, but another important step to do, like I said on my desktop, I have my trading folder. Okay, so these are the execute files. As soon as we double click on Fusion, it's going to open the platform. But we want a shortcut to the back end. So we're going to open up another one of these. And notice not this link here. This seems to be going to my drive, but okay. Anyone can show me how to remove the OneDrive, it'd be appreciated. So you've got a previous one set up. If you haven't done one before, you just go into your C drive users, app data roaming. So we'll go there. So these are all the MetaTrader platforms I have installed. Now, in order of when they were updated or installed, will be right at the top of your list if you select that. So this is likely the one we just did. So you can see now where we are. You want to double click on MQL. There's your experts folder where your algorithms go. That's where your indicators go. We want to double click on profiles and then charts. So these are the four. Just to make it easy, we'll delete these three and then we'll know for sure we have the right folder location. So this is critical. Now we click there and go Control C, copy. So if we double click this, in the profiles we should just have the one now. Here's profiles here, manage profiles. We just have default, correct. The other three have been deleted. So if you go back to this folder where I have default, if you were to create a folder or drop one in from an existing, like if we go to, and we drop in copier, for example, or just trade basic, choose one, any one. It won't be here automatically. It'll only be here once you close the terminal and launch it again. Same goes for templates. These are all just the standard ones they give you. As for indicators, indicators are, these are all the standard ones they give you. They come with the terminal. I mean, you need some of these to build a good algorithm, but in order to make a really good algorithm or your own strategy, that's when you start either finding free ones online where you have the code, very important, or you go to market and you download indicators, then they're called custom. Now that's another step. You can go and ask AI how to use custom indicators in your EA, but if you can get a lot of free indicators, custom ones, they'll arrive in a new folder it'll create here, because this is not the folder. It'll create another one, market. Yeah, likely in here. It'll drop them in here. All the indicators will be in here. And you get plenty of free ones. You can just go here and go free. And look at that. There's 530 pages of free indicators to use. And once you've downloaded it, just drag and drop it on a chart, change the settings, and you're away. Then comes the hard work. You've got to back test and come up with something. Oh, by the way, we've got our label back. So you notice how it's on one click now. That's what we want. Otherwise this double clicking is insane. And that came from charts, select by a single mouse click. So that's our label, which remains in the same position. Notice that. Remains in the same position on a chart as I drag. But if you want text to remain here, like buy setup, then you change the colors. Okay, so there's our buy setup. That text will remain in that place. So that's text label, and this is just text. Also, notice you need to change this part of the text. So here is bullish. These two are for kind of chart drift. So if you have both of them, it's going to keep this distance. There's a little arrow there that you drag. And if you have this button pressed in, that's shifting the chart right to the end. See, the moment price is going to sit right at the end. You don't want that. You want a bit of space so you can, much better. But if you want it a bit tighter, you just move that there. And if you want to back test, you have to deselect that button. Zoom out is plus and minus. Control Y will bring in the daily separation. So now we can see there's per day. And Control G is for grid. Take away the grid. Control I will bring up the indicators for that chart. So then you can go and change. It's much quicker than going to find it and double click on it. You can go Control I and personally select that one, change the color, change the settings. And once you have an EA on the chart, that's F7, we'll bring up the expert advisor's inputs. F9 is for a ticket order, but since there's no account attached, F9 doesn't bring up a ticket order. Or you can have an EA attached. I have one that sits in the top left, very tidy, for instant market trading. Have a look at my page for that. As for arrow tools, same thing. Once you change the color, it will be set in for the future of the same type. So you see the color is now blue, and horizontal lines and so on, same principle. If you want dashed or thicker, now it'll be pink. Next time you add one, it'll be pink. Okay, so I think there's some other videos on how to use all these tools, but just play around with them. This is tooling the windows. So if you want to see one single chart, you double click, and in the top right here, you got minimize that chart or restore back to what you had. Or if you're at this point and you want to go tile all of them again, it'll put them all exactly in the same place. So if you only want two charts and you want to tile them, it'll split them that way. So yeah, play around with the tools, get to learn the platform if you don't know it. What else can we squeeze into this video? I think that about covers it. Let's just go to this part here where we're saying how to create a shortcut. So Control C. Now we go back to the Trade 3 folder, this area here. Right click on your desktop and go New Shortcut. Control V to paste. That's the shortcut into the charts of that specific broker's platform. So that's Fusion. I think I titled it like this, MT5 dash dash. You can create your own name format, of course. And now we put it in this data folder here. Yep, you can see I was doing MT5 double dash. And if you want to change the little icons, you right click and go Properties, change icon. And have a look at the ones in there. In the bottom right, you just go Apply. And that's it, the picture changed. So now when we double click on this, it sets us straight into this folder. And that's the beauty of it. So once we're here, we're in the charts folder, the profiles, right? This long string of numbers, click on that. Will get you to this, back to this link. It'll take you a step backwards. Now if you want to transfer from another folder, say this broker over here, I want to drag a profile or an expert. So let's go to experts. So now I can drag this one here. If I don't drag them, that'll actually remove it from here. Double click, copy it, and paste. And now I've moved the experts in here. So that's how you quickly transfer between the platforms. And then, of course, as before, a lot of those things will only launch once you restart the platform. That's not the case for indicators. So notice here, where's the experts? Here. And here's also experts. Now right click and go refresh. Notice there's chess 4.6. We just dropped that in. We just moved chess from this one into the experts here. So the same would go for indicators. If you were to update indicators, they would populate here. Okay, traders, thanks for watching, and have a look at my other videos. All the best. Bye.